Hi, welcome to Part 3, Chapter 10, Module 6, Continuum of Care in Gerontological Nursing. So by the end of the presentation, I am hoping that the learner will be able to describe the continuum of services available to older adults, discuss factors that influence service selection for older adults, describe various practice settings for gerontological nurses, list major factors of gerontological nurses. Please know these terms. They are very important. Know what the adult day services offers and what it is. Also, know what assisted living is. And also, most importantly, please know, they all are important, but please know what a case manager is. Case management. I'm just going to read that one, but I know that you all can read this. But it is services provided by registered nurses or social workers who assess an individual's needs, identify appropriate services, and help the person obtain and coordinate these services in the community. You have more terms to know, and for sure we definitely can't leave out hospice, nursing home, respite. We also have palliative care. We have different type of nursing services that are geared to the older adult. You can read the definitions by each of these. Let's take a look at the introduction and the bullet points. Effects of a graying population. I would like for you, and look at all the other bullet points that are here. While I'd like for you to also read the first paragraph of page 127. When we speak of all the different services in the continuum of care for older adults, think of these services: preventive services, partial and intermittent care services, complete and continuous care services, community-based services, institution-based services, and complementary and alternative services. I also like for you to focus on page 127. Look down towards the blue squares at the bottom of the page. Very helpful information. Supportive and preventive services. Look at the goal. The goal is maintain independence and self-capacity. Now that's the goal that we want for all of our older adults or our older residents. We want them to help identify service needs, referral to appropriate services. Some can be as simple as Meals on Wheels. Simple service. Maybe they're unable to cook for themselves and they need assistance. So a case manager can refer them to the different services in their area regarding Meals on Wheels. And how about appropriate referrals? I pretty weak going home. I don't want to go to acute care or skilled facilities. Maybe they fall within the guidelines of a referral for home health nurse, home health physical therapy. So there's different services that's available for different residents and according to their insurances also. Take a look at this slide and look at the many different supportive and preventive services. Does any stand out to you? I hope so. Even as education for preventive services, counseling for sustaining mentality and things that older adults need at home, financial services, they may need some financial assistance or find out where there's some availability of financial services that they qualify within their financial being. Employment, just because you're over 65 does not mean that you cannot work or do not want to work. So case management can help find employment, as I spoke in the earlier slide about food services. Also for housing, there's different areas out here under the government and private for housing, which includes like insurances also. There's one particular in Riverside. It's called Alta Vita, or used to be called Air Force One West. And they provide housing, apartments or houses, and the insurance come along with it. So there's different types of supportive and preventive services. Hello, can you answer this question? Well, let's see if you got it right. You are correct if you answered the letter C. Suggestions of day treatment programs is considered a partial or intermittent care service. Answers A, B, and D act as preventive services to support individuals. Let's look at partial and intermittent care services. As you read the bullet points, the next slide will tell you about some types of partial and intermittent services. Here we go. Look at all the different types of partial and intermittent care services. Adult day services. So we see how that works with all who are, rotating through the adult daycare center at Care Connexus. We also have foster care and group homes, home health care, which I spoke of before. We do have telephonic nursing now, and also physicians call at home to check on the older adult. Home monitoring is something very new now. Remember I spoke about Meals on Wheels? So there's not just Meals on Wheels, there's other different type of delivery services. May not be called that, but they do deliver meals to the older adult or someone who is unable to cook or provide those services for themselves. Assisted living, respite care, different types, health ministry and parish nurse programs. There's all different types of partial and intermittent care services. Did you know that there are currently over 3,500 centers that provide adult daycare in the United States? The program maximizes the existence of self-care capacity of participants while preventing further limitations. That's just great. As we look at complete and continuous services, look at the two examples. These are someone who needs 24-hour supervision. As you read complementary and alternative services, look at the bullet points. And as you read the bullet points, I'm just going to focus on some things I felt that was important. So traditional alternative medicine, this field includes the more mainstream and accepted forms of therapy, such as, I'm sure you guys heard of acupuncture or homeopathy or oriental practices. These therapies have been practiced for centuries worldwide. So traditional alternative medicine, that includes acupuncture, homeopathy, naturopathy, Chinese or oriental medicine. So body, touch has been used in medicine since the early days of medical care. That's why I encourage you to walk inside of your patient's room and hold their hands. It's just healing by touch is based on the idea that illness or injury in one area of the body can affect all parts of the body. If with manual manipulation, and we're not doing that, we're just going in, holding the hands, but I just want to say that with manual manipulation, the other parts can be brought back to continuum health. The body can fully focus on healing at the site of the injury or illness. Body techniques are often combined with those of the mind. So just think about all the acupuncture, homeopathy, naturopathy, and Chinese or Oriental medicines that are happening. So some examples of body therapies can be like chiropractic and osteopathic medicine, massage, body movement therapies, Tai Chi, yoga. So don't forget about those things. And then also look at diet and herbs. Over the centuries, man has gone from a simple diet consisting of meat, fruits, vegetables, and grains to a diet often consists of foods rich in, fats, oils, and complex carbohydrates. So nutritional excess and deficiency have become problems in today's society, both leading to certain chronic diseases, and we know the one that's on the rise, diabetes. Many dietary and herbal approaches attempts to balance the body's nutritional well-being. So dietary and herbal approaches may include something like dietary supplements, herbal medicine, and then nutrition or diet. Okay, so you do have the external energy. You have also mind, different senses, arts and music, visualization and guided imagery. So you have a lot of things that go under complementary and alternative services. Before I talk about this slide, I just wanted to make sure that although I mentioned all of the prior things of complementary and alternative services, always remember that nurses, they do require additional education and practice for things such as complementary and alternative therapies into their clinical practice. So the nurses who provide a wide range of knowledge and skills, we know we have that, but when combined with additional preparation in complementary and alternative therapies, that alone, in addition with our skills, make us the ideal provider of some of the non-conventional services. As we look at considerations when matching services of the needs, services must address physical, emotional, social, and spiritual factors, which we have here. Services must be available to meet the unique needs of older populations in a holistic manner. So always know that these services should be planned to address whatever problems or needs older adults are likely to develop, and should be implemented in a manner relevant to the unique characteristics of this group. So let's say, for example, a local health department interested in meeting special needs of older adults adds screening programs like hearing, vision, hypertension, and cancer to their existing services. Now that can happen, but let's also consider services that are unique. So say like physical, emotional, social, or spiritual services are based on individuals' needs at a given time. So say that someone come into outpatient services, they're there for, for diabetes control, getting their blood sugars checked, but they also express to you that they're having some type of additional financial problems. So we will have to not just listen to them, but we need to act on it. So we will find someone who could assist them financially. So sometimes we can get a financial planner involved to help that particular individual. So just know that services must be tailored to needs. Individualization must be practiced to match the unique needs of an individual with specific services. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer those. Older individuals' unique capacities and limitations, and most importantly, their preferences should be assessed to identify the most important services for them. Not for us, but for them. As we look at and come into the close of our slides, setting and roles for gerontological nurses, please pay attention to each of these bullet points. Although a nurse's specific role and responsibilities can differ vastly in different settings, gerontological nurses in any settings may serve similar functions. Look at box 10-3. These functions are varied and multifaceted and address the following goals. Educate persons of all ages and practices that promote a positive aging experience. Assess and provide interventions. Promote self-capacity and independence. Collaborate with other healthcare providers in the delivery of services. Maintain health and integrity of age and family. Advocate for and protect the rights of older adults. Promote the use of ethics and standards in the care of the older adult. And also help older persons face the transitions to death with peace. Thank you for listening. Please stay tuned for chapter 33 and 34 coming up in part 4 and part 5. I'm just going to label them that because it's a challenge in getting everything as a review in 15 minutes, but I don't want to make the slides more than 15 minutes because then I'll lose your attention. So thank you for listening to chapter 10, and this will be part 3 of module 6. Okay, bye. Professor Roberts.